Do you like lions? Have you ever wanted to see 7 lions on top of one guy? Well then Roar is the movie for you. This movie was made between 1970 and 1981 by Noel Marshall and Tippi Hedren, an insane couple who saw some lions occupying a house in Mozambique one time, thought it was super cute and said, okay, what if we did that? And we made that a movie. And since Tippi Hedren was the star of Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds, I think she just really needed to do her own animal-themed movie. She craved that. I need to be known for other animal-based stuff, she thought. I get it. We've all been there. So the movie was not initially called Roar. When Noel Marshall wrote his first version of the script in 1970, it had the even less inventive working title of Lions. At one point they were also going to go with the incredible lions, and more lions. And in fairness to him, that is the absolute essence of this movie. But after they ended up getting some non-lion type animals, they eventually settled on Roar. Symbolic of the great strength of animals. So what happens in Roar? Let me tell you. It starts out immediately incomprehensible with this guy, Hank, played by Marshall, covered in lions.
The closer you'd get to them, the more they'd like you, the safer you'd be.
He spends the entire movie essentially too distracted by piles of lions to meet his family who are visiting from abroad. The main plot revolves around the two parties not managing to meet each other because Hank keeps getting held up by dramatic big cat events.
Boy, you guys wait till my family gets here tonight, or they're gonna love you.
The movie makes it clear that we will be seeing some lions, but it's important for the audience to know that there is one lion who is nastier than all other lions.
What's that rogue Togar doing here?
This is Togar, the big lion, the sexy lion, the crazy lion. The lion community makeup is actually a pretty important element of the movie. Unfortunately, it's a bit hard to really characterize the lion, so Hank has to tell us directly that Togar is the big muscly lion causing problems, and Robbie is the boss of the lions, who all the lions like.
He's the boss!
Obviously, none of this little lion encampment is representative of real lion community and social structure, but I do think it's very funny that these so-called lion lovers spending their lives with 1 billion lions represented their lion group as patriarchal here, when it's very well documented that lions are matriarchal. Cinema Sins ding on that one, fellas. Lions are feminists. Anyway, it's time to play chase.
Come on, let's play chase!
We soon meet Mativo, a guy who does not want to be around lions.
I don't think you should count on me.
He's Hank's right-hand man, and the only character in the movie who truly speaks to the normal guy response of, "Get me out of here."
No.
Every moment with Mativo, you can feel that he wants to leave. A committee, as it turns out, are not too pleased about the lions. They don't want piles of lions around, for some reason.
What are you trying to prove? That you can have lions?
Hank objects, and this is where the movie tries and fails to make him a noble conservationist.
No, but we can't keep exterminating them.
Hank has a little emotional moment about how we really shouldn't kill the animals.
I don't know what kind of person could look in the eyes of 200 elephants and put out those lights.
And in this moment, it's as if he's the kindly, compassionate hero of the story, fighting for their lives. But to be honest with you, he's just a bloke living in a big house of lions who loves to get in the middle of lion fights, which he does immediately after this conversation.
I gotta go help your uncles, they're killing each other!
He gets seriously injured immediately. Could lions be dangerous? At one point in the scene post-injury, he tries to bandage his bleeding hand, but a lion keeps stepping on one end of the bandage so he can't get to it. An incredible and perfect metaphor for lions being an obstacle to safety. And this was a real injury, by the way. Noel Marshall was actually bitten through the hand in this scene, and the injury was severe enough that doctors apparently thought he might lose his hand. He didn't though, so okay, guess everything's fine. This movie says, I'm gonna show you some real injuries. Let's go. You will see later that the movie simply totally contradicts itself, but it's this scene that really plants the seed of moral chaos. Because strangely enough, the guy saying, it's good for me to have 5,000 lions in my living room, does not come across as super reasonable. The guy saying, I don't know if this is it, chief, does. If this wasn't bad enough, the committee guys are immediately attacked by wet tigers. Hank, seeing the men covered in blood, gets gets mad at them.
Oh, what the hell's wrong with you? All you got's a few scratches. You're lucky Togar didn't get you.
Get over it, guys. Stop bleeding. You're being cringe right now. You're being mega cringe right now. Hank is so busy scrambling to deal with this committee that even though his family were expecting him to pick them up at the airport, they just decide to make their own way back to his house. Presumably it's just they've been waiting for ages and they're like, alright, let's just go. Let's just take the bus. I don't want to be here anymore.
There's no place for you to stay here.
Well, what do we do?
I don't know.
Not before an absolutely out-of-pocket comment about the daughter being a nasty slut, though.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder? The heart, maybe, but what about the sex gland? Sex is all you think about lately, young lady. You'd better watch it or you're going to get your little tail in trouble.
That's what this movie needed. This sex arc is completely dropped here, by the way. I don't know why this conversation is in the movie, but it is. It's very odd. We get some lion lore now, which is delivered in the same way we learn anything about the lions, by Hank telling us about it. The plot concerning the Lion Society is very loose, but basically, Togar and Robbie might be brothers.
I have a hunch that Robbie and Togar could be brothers.
Togar is the Scar of this movie. He's the bad bro. I really like how, with the exception of Scary Togar, all the lions have normal guy names.
You know, Bugsy and Robbie were both rogue lions. I found them dying from battle wounds.
One of them, a cute cub, is called Gary.
Well, hello, Gary.
Hi, Gary. Now it's bath time. Hank takes a bath with the lions, and we enter the comedy music zone.
Oh.
The lions are now about to get up to some mischief. That's right, lions are cheeky. They steal Mativo's jacket and start chasing him around. And Hank has to emerge from the house in his little white undies to shoo them away, and the lions regard this with what I can only assume is great amusement. They're chuckling. Mativo, as it turns out, is getting quite irritated with the lions at this point.
Put them out.
Mativo, this is their home.
What do you think you're running? A country club for lions?
Come on, sit down here.
And you know what? The lions are getting pissed off too. The lions are getting a little pissed off. It's bound to happen. This shot of Hank moving his head out of the way of a lion's chomp zone, by the way, is absolutely skin crawling. Why? Why am I watching this? Why am I seeing this? It's too much. I need to lie down. I don't feel well. Hank finally starts making the journey to meet his family at the airport. Now that he is clean and bandaged, he takes 2 tigers with him for some reason and immediately crashes his boat. Nice work, Hank. What's his advice for dealing with tigers? Don't swim. They'll get you.
Don't swim, they'll get you!
The unfortunate problem with the family's arrival at the house is that the house is filled with lions. This isn't usually a problem for Hank, who is used to breaking up lion fights with his bare hands about 16 times a day, but the wife and kids are soon terrorized and trapped in a horrible pile of lions. They come into the house and get cozy, they open all the windows, and then they see a disturbing sight. A whole group of lions snacking on a zebra.
Holy mackerel. Look at that.
I don't believe what I'm seeing.
Those can't be Dad's lions.
These children, by the way, are Tippi Hedren and Noel Marshall's real children. They actually decided to unleash 6,000 lions upon their children. They said, yes please, to that. John Marshall, who plays John, at one point needed 56 sutures after a lion bit him in the head. And Jerry Marshall, who plays Jerry, was in hospital for a month after being bitten in the leg. Melanie Griffith, who plays Melanie, decided to leave the film after watching a lion fight and going, nah. Although she did later return to the production. She was mauled too. I'll come back to that. We'll get back to the injuries. The family tried to deal with the situation by running away,
Oh no.
hiding in the fridge, and generally trying to go to a place in the house where there isn't a lion. R.I.P. to these eggs. But lions, as it turns out, can open fridges.
Help.
They get hungry sometimes. The lions are knocking down furniture all over the place at this point, which seems really purposeful, honestly. I think the lions are acting maliciously. I think the lions love bullying. We've already seen them steal from Mativo, after all. But never fear, Robbie is here. Robbie comes in now to save everyone. And now, the lions are sleepy. Meanwhile, after being viciously attacked, the committee boys are discussing killing the lions.
I can go on any property to kill animals that I deem are a danger to human lives.
This is a straightforward villain moment, but it's funny that the movie makes a guy wanting to shoot lions sound about as reasonable as he possibly could sound here. Like, he just got mauled. He legitimately fears for his life in this zone of 9 million lions and tigers. Probably about 60% of his blood has left his body. Like, you've given him the best possible reason to want to kill animals here. I'm kind of rooting for this guy, you know?
You are not going to kill those cats!
You can tell me what you're gonna do, and you can tell me what the rest of this committee is gonna do. Rick? But I'll be damned if you're gonna tell me what I'm gonna do.
Like, okay, let him cook. Hank learns now that his family took the bus home, so he starts speeding back home in a borrowed car. We are now halfway through the movie. Anything could happen. Hank wants to take his 2 tigers with him in the car, but Motivo has had enough.
Hank, this is madness.
Why did you bring these tigers in the first place, bro? Motivo's like, okay, dude, well, lions are probably eating your wife and kids right now.
These are your friends, huh? And do you know what your friends are probably doing to your family right now? They are making dinner of them. They are eating them.
TiVo, shut up!
You want to know how long this tiger in car scene took to shoot? 7 weeks. It took 7 weeks because they had to train the tigers to ride in the car. And apparently, training tigers to go in car is hard. So I guess this scene is unrealistic, which is really sad for me. I was expecting high realism here, but you know, they did it. They put tigers in the car. They did that. Back at home, lions are being super cute. One lion plays with a ball, one lion enjoys a skateboard, one lion has a little turtle toy. Aww, ain't they cute? The family now tries getting in a boat to escape from the lions. The trouble with that plan is that they immediately row into some lions. Guys, did you not think about, not rowing into the lions? Damn, rookie mistake. We've all been there. In the battle of lion versus boat, lion wins. The lions are too smart for you, foolish human, and your tools and vehicles. And you know what other animal is too smart for you? That's right, the humble elephant. An elephant is now on the scene and ready to lift Tippi Hedren into the air with a King Kong-like move. Fun fact, if an elephant picks you up by the ankle, you can break your ankle. Not only did this happen here, but Tippi also got gangrene because of it. Awesome. The elephant, Tembo, had also broken the shoulder of a trainer a few days beforehand, so honestly I think this elephant may have just loved the taste of human pain. I do respect that, and I think Tembo should be able to hurt as many people as he wants. And if you didn't know, Tembo means elephant in Swahili, so it's actually a bit hard to research this specific Tembo. There are a lot of Tembos. One of the movie's sons now decides to attempt escape from the house of lions on a motorcycle.
Hey! I'm gonna get help!
And leave us here?
I'm gonna get help! I thought it was suicide!
This doesn't work out. Tigers are ranked higher than motorcycles. As we already know, you cannot evade creatures with any kind of vehicle. You just can't. It can't be done. He does, however, get to do some insane stunts. He leaps from tiger peril into the elephant zone. He zooms on back to the house, knowing he cannot truly escape, and is pursued by every single big cat in existence. His solution to this problem is, for some reason, to ride directly off the roof. To this, his brother remarks,
What kind of jerk would go off the roof on a motorcycle?
yeah, good question, actually. Back inside, Melanie is now being chomped.
Get off of her! Open her.
More lions come in at this point, and I'm starting to feel like I'm completely losing my mind, just unbelievably fatigued by the sheer onslaught of lions. I am begging for this to stop. No more lions. But of course, it is time for more lions, and in fact, for one of my favorite moments in the movie, the barrels section. Son number 1, John, gets into a barrel of water to escape the lions. A genius move, except for the fact that the lions are so thirsty. Yum yum yum, the lions are thinking. What a delicious drink for me and all my friends. Yum 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 yum. Meanwhile, Mother has entered her own barrel. Everyone in the family at this moment is connected by the great psychic need to get into a barrel. Mum tries and fails to climb a ladder, but soon finds a place to rest. She rests so hard that she doesn't notice an entire jar of honey emptying out into her face. Uh-oh, honey. The kids in their barrels float out to an elephant and some funny music starts playing as the animals start to yummy down on Mother's face honey. Finally, the three kids escape their barrels, and their mum makes it over to them. The lions watch, bemused. Everyone decides, it's time to go to sleep now. They'll be fine, I'm sure. They'll be totally fine. While the family slumbers, the boys have arrived to shoot lions, so now we get to see a lot of creepy footage of bloodied, sedated animals. Thank you, movie. The lions fight back and kill the boys. They didn't think of that. Oopsie. Specifically, Togar, the big nasty lion, finally comes through to do something positive for his lion community and absolutely kill these dudes to death. Thanks, Togar. Maybe you're not so bad after all. Back to the slumbering family, though. Oh, it seems as if they've accidentally slept in a big pile of lions. I hate it when that happens. A lion rests on Tippi Hedren, and she's charmed and delighted, actually. The energy in the room has changed. Everyone starts playing with the lions, and we are in lion utopia now. 2 seconds ago, we were afraid for our lives, but now we love being surrounded by lions. Everything is good, actually. Everything rocks. Only for a second, Tippi is concerned. She has this exchange with her children.
Melanie, John, get away from those lions! Mom, if they wanted to get us, they would have done it while we were asleep.
But haven't they been getting you? Isn't that what this whole movie has been about? That the lions are getting your ass? Aren't they getting you? It's very bold to make the ultimate message of this movie, lions are totally okay and won't hurt you, after an entire movie about just how much lions can hurt you, complete with the real-life injuries of at least half of the 140-person crew, if not more, including such gnarly highlights as the scalping of the cinematographer Jan de Bont, for which he needed 220 stitches, the blood poisoning and gangrene contracted by Noel Marshall sometime in the process of being bitten over 11 times during production, the bite Tippi Hedren suffered in which a lion's teeth scraped against her skull, the facial reconstruction Melanie Griffith had to have after being attacked by a lion, and the 4.5-hour surgery assistant director Doran Cowper had to undergo after Togar bit him in the throat, nearly killing him. But they're really cute though, so I don't know, maybe just let him bite me to death. Fuck it. Mother Tippi really doesn't need much convincing though, because after her kids say, "No, Mother, it's fine, it's fine,"
You sure it's all right?
she just gets into it and starts stroking a fully grown tiger. C'est la vie, baby. 1 minute they're mauling you, the next they're getting pet by you. That's just the way it's supposed to be. That's just the beauty of it all. To add to the vaguely trance-like nature of this happy animal-touching scene, the movie repeats a couple of dialogue lines in short succession.
You're really friendly.
Oh, she's beautiful.
You're really friendly.
Oh, she's beautiful.
Am I in a dream? Am I dreaming this? And with that, Daddy's back, and he is again screaming for Togar. And getting in the middle of a Togar fight. This is how the movie started, and I guess it's how it must end. The natural way of things. One man jumping into a lion fight. Over and over and over. This is good. This is fine. Hank sees a lion on his wife and says,
I better go help your mom.
he tells the lion to get off his wife. Problem solved.
Come on, get up.
He gets a little wife slap.
Don't worry.
Don't worry!
Oh, but...
And they're all strangely happy now. They enter fully into the post-traumatic bliss, reunited at last, and Hank says, at this moment, in absolute desperation,
Isn't this fantastic?
No, it isn't, Hank. Sorry. I think it's fun to, at this moment, remember the earlier, extremely discarded thread of this couple's failing marriage, and read this movie's events as a metaphor for the breakdown of a relationship. After all, this sudden, sweeping emotional change that the family sinks into in unison as the father and husband re-enters his ghastly, volatile scene makes perfect sense of the earlier discussion in the car of the couple's time apart.
You know that your father and I were having problems, and we thought it would be better to be apart for a while. You know, absence makes the heart grow fonder. The heart, maybe, but what about the sex gland?
The daughter says, "I don't know, Mum, it seems like spending time apart to fix your marriage is a fake solution. Maybe your relationship is over." And her mother responds with total dismissal. "No, Melanie, we needed to do this. We needed to be in different continents to stay together."
Someday I hope you'll understand the beauty of restraint and self-denial.
Well, I hope it wasn't restraint and self-denial that drove Dad away.
Your dad needed to wriggle around with the lions, get seriously injured, and then I needed to go to that. Perhaps their relationship can no more be brought back together than these lions can be brought together safely with the human family. Perhaps the great delusion that everything is going to be okay now is the only thing holding this family, this lion situation, and this excruciating movie together. The one thing that the movie can truly represent, the thing that's in its bones after all, is the incredible power of abject delusion in the face of loss. Because I can only imagine that the sunk cost fallacy must be in its most active and violent form when you've just spent 10 years shooting a movie that has, in many ways, ruined your life. Tippi Hedren and Noel Marshall were divorced in 1982, 1 year after the decade-long production of this cursed film came to an end. The movie made a loss, of course it did, and on top of the huge amount of injuries that were sustained during production, the house which animals were kept in and where shooting took place was also destroyed in a flood, leading to the execution of 3 escaped lions by law enforcement. Tippi got a restraining order against Noel, ostensibly due to increasingly aggressive behavior he displayed during production of the movie. His son John has talked publicly about how angry his father was on set and how he would often ignore Melanie during shooting when she used a safe word to signal that she wanted to stop a scene. Tippi went on to co-author the Captive Wildlife Safety Act, a bill passed in 2003 that made it essentially illegal in the US to import, export, or transport live big cats internationally or across state lines. And she later co-authored the Big Cat Public Safety Act, a bill enacted in 2022 which places more restrictions on possession and breeding in the hopes of bringing private ownership of big cats to an end. Since Raw, Tippi Hedren has made her life about working to prevent the kind of endangerment of animals and people that this movie allowed, to stop people like her and her husband from fucking around and finding out, and that is the great and beautiful power of divorce. Raw is an incredible, deeply horrifying, terrible mistake. It should have never been made. But it was, and there are cat laws because of it now. I didn't need to see this movie, but now I know exactly what it looks like when 7 lions get on one man. So I've been educated, and so have you.